Arsenal get their first win in the Champions League this season in the new league format. First home game of the Champions League, beating a European giant in PSG 2-0. Goals from Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka. Still sort of a perfect night for Arsenal, really. And the biggest compliment I can give Arsenal is, even though we was facing, a pot 1 seeded team in PSG, I think it was expected that Arsenal win this game and win it comfortably, which we did in the end. Talking through the game, I think Arsenal started the game well. Saka got on the ball early, beat his man a couple of times early on, had a shot early on. Calafiori was inverting massively from left back, and we just looked so physically dominant. PSG had a lot of very small technical players on the pitch, so they was always quite good at keeping the ball, but not really doing much with it. On the occasions they did try and beat our press and go long, Gabriel and Saliba just ate up whoever they was marking. And then we eventually ended up getting the breakthrough through Kai Havertz. Leandro Trossard doing absolutely brilliantly, carrying the ball from, I think it was our own half, into the PSG half, chopping back, putting a cross into what they call the corridor of uncertainty. Donnarumma's come out, he's probably made the wrong decision. If he does come out to meet that cross, he's got to take the ball and take Havertz with him. But Kai Havertz, nice and brave, times the run perfectly and heads it past Donnarumma for 1-0 Arsenal. And I see a lot of people have been getting on to Donnarumma about this, and I do agree, saying that, he's meant to be a top keeper. But I've always thought Donnarumma is very, very overrated. I don't think he's a great goalkeeper at all. He had a good Euros when Italy won it, and fair play to him, that's obviously an amazing achievement, one he'll always cherish and remember. But I don't think he's a great keeper. I've never seen it. He's quite clumsy. Yeah, he's a lump, he's a big geezer at 6'5", but he's not great with his feet. I remember when we played AC Milan in the Europa League in 2018, it would have been. And, some of the goals you can see there, I remember Xhaka having a shot from about 25-30 yards down to his near post. And somehow he gets down and manages to slap the ball into his far corner. I just don't think he's a great goalkeeper. And, yeah, I've never quite understood the hype around him personally. But yeah, definitely at that point was a deserved 1-0 lead, and it was a brilliant goal from Kai Havertz. The sort of goal I think he should be scoring more of, and I want to see him scoring more of. He's so good at timing a run into the box. He knows, you hear Arteta, even Lampard and stuff last night in the punditry talking about how good he is at knowing where the space is and timing and the attacking of it. And he's such a big guy, he's like 6'4", Havertz. So I want to see him making them late runs more often and getting on the end of crosses. This season he's scored a couple of headers already. Obviously the one against Wolves in the first game and yesterday. And he does do it brilliantly, but I think he can do it. Well, no, at the minute I think he does it well, but I think he could become brilliant at it. And it could be another weapon for Arsenal, because we're such a big physical team at the minute. Yeah, we've got the smaller, intricate players like the Trossards, the Odegaards, Martinelli, Saka, Sterlings and stuff, but we've got such a big physical team, and I think we need to press on it more, which we do with the set pieces, etc. And speaking of set pieces, the second goal did come from a set piece. I did tell everyone in my group chats to put a bet on Arsenal scoring a set piece, but I'll be honest, I didn't think it would be like this. I expected it to be from a corner and a Gabriel come towering over, because PSG's team were absolutely tiny. They looked like a bunch of kids, to be honest, compared to the Arsenal team. But Arsenal only had one corner in the game, and it went into Donnarumma's hands, I think. But yeah, the set piece goal did come directly from Bukayo Saka. And look, he wasn't trying to score a goal, obviously. It was a crossing scenario. He done well to win the cross, baiting a challenge from Nuno Mendes, who I thought had a decent game. It was quite a good battle between them, quite even. And he's just whipped it in low and hard to the front stick. Martinelli's jumped over it. Partey's tried to get a flick, but no one managed it. And it's just bounced through past the keeper. In that scenario, I've got a little bit of sympathy for him. There's so many people running across him. He's probably hoping it's going to get cleared. And before he knows it, it's bouncing past him. And yeah, that makes it 2-0 to Arsenal and becomes the first direct free kick. Technically, even though it wasn't a shot, but technically it becomes the first direct free kick Arsenal have scored since, I think it's 2021, when Martin Odegaard scored against Burnley in a 1-0 win at Turf Moor. So, a nice little hoodoo broken, but it's not something I think will happen often, unfortunately. I do think that is an area Arsenal could potentially strengthen the team with, and really elite, or even just a competent, a good set piece taker who can score goals from free kicks, because we don't really have that. But yeah, they made it 2-0 on the night, and then from then, pretty comfortable. We had other opportunities, I think, to make it 3s and 4s in the first half. Saka beats, I think it was João Neves, down the line, cuts the ball back to Trossard, and he just messes up the finish, to be honest. Should have scored that, should have been 3-0. And early on in the second half, a brilliant passage of play, just one touch football from Arsenal. I think it was Saka into Trossard, and he flicked it to Havertz, and Havertz just flicked it so elegantly over the defender's head into Martinelli, who's about where the penalty spot is, left foot volley, catches it beautifully, but just hits it too central, and just basically hits it the only place that Donnarumma would have been able to save it. If he finds a corner there, it's a brilliant goal. But other than that, fairly comfortable. We just sort of held our shape, kept the ball when we needed to. I thought Kai Havertz was brilliant in the game. When we needed to go long to him, we brought it down, won us free kicks, gained us yards. They did have a couple of opportunities. They hit the bar, they hit the post. But as weird as that sounds, it still didn't feel majorly threatening. And look, PSG, they're a team in transition. They've obviously gone from their sort of, their Galactico era, if you will, of the Mbappes, Messi, Neymars, and they don't have any real superstars anymore. Their probably best player is Dembele, who got left back in Paris due to disciplinary reasons. And even him, again, another player I don't rate him personally, but still, they've moved away from that sort of Galactico era, and they're building a young team that I think in a few years will benefit PSG. I think, in the Champions League, I think PSG have majorly flattered to deceive, and I think it's because they don't have much competition in their league. So when they play a really good team in Europe, they do tend to struggle. But they've on occasion had the superstars to get them out of them scenarios, but they just don't have that right now. But I think long term, building this young team and building a real team who's ready to fight for each other, not having 3 superstars at the top of the pitch who won't do anything going backwards to help the team. They're going to have a real working, cohesive unit that I think long term will benefit them. But right now, it's probably just still too early for them. You look at the draw they got in the Champions League, it is a tough one. I can't remember exactly everyone who they had, but obviously they had Girona in the first game, was very lucky to win that. We just beat them, and I'm pretty sure they definitely play City, and I think one of Real Madrid or Barcelona, and then maybe Atletico and Bayern. I'm not too sure, but they definitely got a really tough draw. One I don't see them getting through, to be honest. They may make the playoff stages, but I don't see them getting anywhere near the top 8 personally right now. But in a few years, we'll see how it develops, but they could become a really strong team in the next few years. But Arsenal, by far and away the dominant side, and deserve to win. A nice comfortable evening. The only sort of disappointment or concern from the evening is that Timber come off at half time. Arteta said he felt something muscular. By the sounds of it, they just didn't want to take any risks, and it sounds pretty innocuous, and hopefully he will be okay for the weekend's Premier League game, because at the minute we don't have a right back. Calafiori had to go right back second half, and I think he struggled there, which is probably to be expected. But Timber in the first half was absolutely phenomenal, brilliant on the ball defensively. He was playing probably PSG's informed player in Barcola, who a lot of the pre-match talk was about, and he absolutely locked him up. Barcola had nothing, absolutely nothing at all, and Timber was brilliant. So yeah, fair play to him. Other good performances. David Raya was good again, handling good, saved what he needed to. Some of his kicking was really good. Could have had an assist early on, pumps the ball down the middle of the pitch. Martinelli nearly gets on the end of it to flick it over Donnarumma, but he manages to come out and smother. The centre-backs again, they're just imperious at times. And look, it was an easy night for them, to be honest, but just nothing went past them. And if something went past one of them, the other one was there just to sweep it up. They're just so physically dominant, and they're just so good. Calafiori, I thought, was decent in the first half. Did get done by Hakimi with a bit of pace. Got absolutely left. Looked like he was running with a fridge on his back, but Hakimi is rapid, to be fair. But no, I thought overall we done well. Thomas Partey, I thought had a brilliant game. Off at the 60th for Mikel Merino's debut. But Thomas Partey, I thought was brilliant. On the ball, kept it nice and safe when he had to. And when he had the chance to break a line and get us forward, he done it like we've known Thomas Partey used to do and can do. And I thought he was brilliant. I thought Declan Rice, arguably the best player on the pitch, was getting around, taking balls off people, running past them, keeping the ball. Played some nice passes. I thought was really good. Trossard, yeah, ended up getting his assist. Overall, worked hard back, getting back for the team, winning balls and nicking it off people's toes and getting us back up the pitch. Saka had an up and down game, but ended up scoring. Martinelli, kind of similar, had a couple of chances. And Kai Havertz, probably, even though I said that Rice was probably best player on the pitch, I think for the moments and the impact he had on the game, Kai Havertz was probably man of the match. And he got man of the match through the Champions League anyway. But yeah, it was a brilliant overall performance. And like I briefly touched upon, Mikel Merino making his Arsenal debut, come on around the 60th, 65th. And I thought we had a decent cameo. You know, you can see he's definitely a good duel winner. He won the ball back a good few times, good few tackles, kept the ball when he had it, but didn't have it too often, because at that point Arsenal were kind of happy just to go back in our shape and just say to PSG, you're not going to break us down. We'll take the 2-0 win. But yeah, good to see him back, you know, and hopefully he gets more minutes against Southampton on the weekend. But yeah, just a good professional performance from Arsenal. And now on to the next game. Southampton at home on Saturday. They just lost 3-1 to Bournemouth on Monday Night Football. And it's a game I need to see Arsenal be ruthless and dominate and really put them to the sword. They're a team who likes to play out from the back, but they're not great at doing it. So I want to see us really press them, pin them back, and just smash them up, to be honest. And it will be interesting to see if there's any changes come Saturday. So obviously there's a good few days to rest now. I think he might go with the same team that I played, in all honesty. But it'd be interesting to see if Mikel Merino maybe gets a start or some more minutes, or maybe Ethan Nwaneri, who didn't get on the pitch yesterday, but after his cameo against Leicester, probably deserves it. And talking of Leicester, look, a game that really and truly should have been a 5-6-0 somehow ended up becoming nervy, and Arsenal just winning it in stoppage time. And I'll be honest, I was super frustrated. It's probably why I've not done a video on it, because it really annoyed me. I hate when Arsenal concede goals in general. But conceding it to a team that's probably going to go down or be in a relegation scrap at home when you're 2-0 up, to somehow let them come back to 2-2, I thought was just absolutely disgraceful, to be honest. Look, the first goal I think comes from a lapse of concentration, cheap free kick to give away. And then to not defend it, it wasn't even a good free kick. To not defend it, I thought was just really terrible. Leicester's second goal from James Justin, fair play. The strike is unbelievable. And that can happen, so I'll give them credit for that. But that should have been all they have. And then it becomes nervy, and it comes to the 94th minute. Arsenal end up getting the winner through a set piece. Corner back stick from Saka to Trossard. He puts it back across goal. Unfortunately for Leicester, hits Ndidi and goes in. And Arsenal win the game, and then we get a fall through Kai Havertz, a little bit of a jammy goal, but we'll take it. That sort of 2-goal cushion was probably deserved. Like I said, it could have been a 5-6-0, but their keeper was moving like Spider-Man on the day, pulling out saves left and right. No need for that sort of performance from him, but I'm used to it. You know, keepers come to Arsenal a lot and play brilliantly, and I expect Ramsdale will do his utmost to do the same on Saturday. But it's a game on Saturday, quite simply must win before the international break. Hopefully get a nice comfortable job done, no injuries, and then after the international break, obviously hopefully none of our players get injured there, but then we come back and we should have a near-on fully fit squad. You know, hopefully Ben White will be back for the weekend, missed out last night. Hopefully Timber's injury's not too bad. Tomiyasu's back in training, Moreno's back, and yeah, all we're waiting for now is Zinchenko and Odegaard, so hopefully they make some progress after the international break, because that's when another tough run begins to start and we're going to need them back. But in terms of Southampton, just do a quick prediction. I fancy this might be one where we don't make the silly mistakes and we really punish them. So I don't know why, this is going to sound crazy, but I've got a 5-0 in my gut. I've just got a feeling we might absolutely batter them. But then, can I see Southampton having such a poor performance like they just did? Because the manager just will not have it. You know what? I'll be humble with it, and I'll go 3-0 Arsenal. Don't let them fuckers score, because they're not good. And really press them and try get as many as possible. But I'll go 3-0 Arsenal. But yeah, good week so far, and hopefully we can cap it off on Saturday. Let me know in the comments what do you guys think regarding last night's game and Saturday's game, and your predictions moving forward. And another question I've got: can Arsenal go? How far can Arsenal go in the Champions League? You know, some people saying we can potentially go all the way. I think that depends massively on the luck of the draw, injuries, and I still doubt it because, one, we don't have that prolific gunman. Havertz is doing a brilliant job up front, but Arsenal need a big time goal scorer, whether that comes from the wings, from Havertz or someone else. But we don't really have that, and I think that will cost us long term potentially in the Premier League, but in the Champions League as well. But if we can keep our defence fit and Declan Rice in front of them, you know, they say defences win titles, so who knows? But I don't see Arsenal winning the Champions League, but I think we can win the Premier League, and I think you know, we just got to keep pushing. But yeah, what do you guys think? Can we win the Champions League? Are we favourites for the Premier League? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, talk to you guys soon after the reaction for the Southampton game. Hopefully celebrating a big win for Arsenal. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.